I guess I can call whatever today is, tax day, April 15th.
Yeah.
Select board work session to order. Want to do pledge allegiance?
Certainly. I pledge
Allegiance
to the flag of the United
States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright, so Matt's not here today. And Ellen will be here when she gets here, I guess. Well, we have a quorum, so our agenda is to start discussing policies. I know that we received some stuff at our last meeting, just kind of abruptly, and we said we needed to do this. So this is our first pass at discussing policies. We talked about the retirement piece, trying to do that in this year. That was our major big plan, big ticket item for the employee benefits. So obviously that's going to impact our budget quite a bit, and hopefully would be big bang for the employees that can get that. Obviously PD has their own. So they're already covered there.
I had a pretty good chance to do a deep dive in this, and I was looking at particularly Barrington and Lee. A lot of towns are going to having a professional survey. I don't know how much of a chance you had to look at all the statistics and different plans. It's kind of overwhelming.
No, there's a lot
So
here,
there's a
and
lot.
right, I didn't get to do a deep dive because we didn't have all the information.
Yeah, it's but when you do a deep dive, you may find that you're drowning. It's a lot of information, there's a lot of change. The trends that I noticed were, of course, New Hampshire retirement.
Right, which is
very important.
which is what we've recognized, and we're
going ahead
we
with
know
that.
that.
The other is going to STEP system that's based on longevity, certification, education, experience, cost of living raise, so that people have a pretty good idea, they can predict what their wages will be. I think, to me right now, the economy is so uncertain, I think there's a lot of concern. And what you see with these different towns, I think there were we compare 10 of them, everybody's having trouble getting staff and keeping staff. And everybody's looking at their benefits now. And to me at least, it seems very costly to have turnover. I'd really love to stabilize our staff. I do honestly feel like virtually anybody in this building could go somewhere else if they wish to.
I'm sure it's like that's,
I
but,
don't wanna lose them.
well, of course not, we don't wanna lose anybody. I don't wanna just say, oh, here you go.
No, of course not.
Have what you want.
But we're talking about, trends and
What's
what's
the alternative,
comfortable
though?
near us.
What's the alternative though? 'Cause I don't
Well, right, I
think,
think
personally, I
we
don't
need,
think they're asking for
Well-
anything wild.
I don't know yet, I don't know if they're asking, I'm looking like at the vacation time. So one of the things requested was carryover.
Yeah,
I think that we could probably do some additional carryover.
What about instead of doing away with all the carryover thing, but just giving them all up front in January? Now, I know what would be the con to that if they left us, we'd have to pay them out because they got it all up front on their vacation time. But instead of having the accruing stuff to make it streamlined, wouldn't it just make sense to give it
at the beginning of the year.
at the beginning? I mean, what do we lose if they quit early or something? That's the only con, isn't it?
'cause we.
Well,
the
right, that's a
budget for it.
con, but yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, now
it's.
if we had thousands of employees like giant companies do, I'd get that. We got a handful of
Pretty
people
intimate
here.
group, yeah.
Right, but there's no, it doesn't, I mean, I don't know. Right, that's the thing. I don't know without looking
I
at
know.
what everybody has,
Yep.
each individual, what they're carrying. Does that make sense? You know, there's still a lot of pieces here that we don't know.
Well, we do
know,
have all
I'm
the information in front
looking-
of us, but it's a
So,
lot
right,
to
I
put
mean,
together.
if we went to something like just a straight paid time off, just earned time,
Right,
for instance.
personal time.
Personal time,
Yeah,
right?
I like
Which
that
which is a
idea.
great way for employees to manage their own time.
Yes.
You know, you earn it, that is still an earned thing.
Right.
And you earn it every week or whatever, you earn how many hours. So with that, you then just kind of, you can build up your bank. And then you manage your time, you take, you know, an hour or two if you need to go to the doctor, but it would include your personal days, your vacation days, your sick days, all that's just one thing, you just manage it the way you
Yeah,
want,
I like that.
and it's super easy. I had that, I loved it, we don't have that anymore, it sucks, because we've lost control of how we manage our own time. But, I mean, if you add up these days, there's a ton of days here. It's like, I wish I got that many days.
Can I
Well,
say something to that? Is it public?
I don't know, it's
Well-
no, well,
I mean, we're having a work session,
It's
but
not
I mean,
public.
just raise your hand,
yeah,
Mike.
So,
But, yes, sir.
I don't mean to be the squeaky wheel, but like, I'm one of those who gets affected by it every year.
Mhm.
Especially with our current staffing levels to where they're at now, and even prior when we were fully staffed, which we've never actually been fully staffed. I constantly have 2 weeks of vacation, and I constantly lose a week of vacation every year because there is not enough time to take it. And by losing that week, the only vacation I take every year is in April. So I literally have to, and my time rolls over in March. So me accruing, and I've been here for 8 years now, I accrue 12 hours once a month. Whereas the other officers who are less than 5 accrue, and everyone accrues 8 hours a month. So that means they can't take a day off, a vacation day, until they've worked 2 months. So part of the big banking process and the carryover is to alleviate a part of that, and so that way we're not losing out on some of the time because we can't take it. Not that we
Right.
can't take it is not the appropriate word, that we don't want to screw anybody over
right.
by taking all that time.
Well, and with like a PTO policy, there's typically more carryover and flexibility with that.
Right.
So that would help resolve that issue. You know,
Just put it all in big
but-
one lump, and you don't have to say if it's vacation or whether it's sick or whatever you need it for.
Yeah, as in one massive
right,
like conglomerate number, if you will.
yeah.
Maybe
And-
not massive, but.
Or a conglomerate, like, you know, like I have
Large.
700 hours of sick time.
Yeah.
You know, and I can max out at 720 hours of sick time. So by having that 700 hours of sick time, which I don't use because I come to work, and God forbid I have to use any of it, I max out at that 720, but my vacation time, I can only carry my 40.
Right.
all of us
Which-
are doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and that's.
So that would,
right,
this would
that's kinda-
eliminate that, yeah.
Kinda silly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
You should be able to
and,
use your time the way you want.
and I don't even know if the departments I think the departments even have different policies depending on the department.
I mean, we all sign the same employee manual.
Right, well,
Personnel.
but I think when I read them initially, when I came on BOS, that some of the things were different depending on the department.
I seem to think.
I mean, we all sign the same manual. Like my manual says I accrue 1 day a month when I first started here. And 1 day for me is not the same. And I'm being selfish. This is just
Yeah.
me. No, I'm not speaking on behalf of the PD. I'm speaking on behalf of the experience that I've had and the officers that have come before and that are still here. That our manual states, which is the same manual we've all signed, states 1 day. And 1 day is obviously very different. And when that manual was written and that policy was put in, I'm sure that it was 8 hours. But there are all of our departments do work different hours.
Right, a day is not necessarily a day. Yeah.
Right,
Mm-hmm,
right.
right.
I don't mean to interject. I
Oh,
No,
know
no,
I went
we-
loud in the back of the room, but
Are we allowed to
Hear
in
from
this,
you.
in this,
Who's gonna
When is our
complain?
chairperson
Yeah,
to
who's
tell
gonna
you?
complain?
Yeah.
Who's gonna complain? We're all here.
as long as we raise our hand?
Raise your hand and I'll call on.
Great, noted.
Just don't pull Steve Sorf and yell.
I'm gonna take some pictures too.
I know, right? Blurry, blurry.
If the cop gets out of line, who stops him?
Oh, that's a good question.
They put me in charge today and left me completely unsupervised.
It's true, it's true. So, you know, you probably haven't seen these, but we've got these two-sided sheets that none of whom, I mean, probably, I don't know, maybe everybody
They
here
came
has
last night.
experience with whatever. Oh, yeah, I was up till midnight, no. But, you know, I have some experience with personnel. Adam, you've got employees, right? I don't know if you guys have had your
This
own
would be a small,
businesses or what.
this is a small company.
It's like a small
Right,
company,
you gotta keep,
exactly.
right, you have to treat the town as a small company.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. So I do have some experience. I assume you do. Maybe you guys do too. I don't know. And this is overwhelming. I think for transparency, to have our staff trust us, to be transparent, to come up with a good plan, I'd really like to see us have a professional like Cochrane or MRI do a survey for us, put the information together, make the recommendations, because I don't think we'll ever get through this, to be honest with you.
What is that, Charlotte?
This is comparing all the, you can disagree, let me just finish, but this is 10 different towns comparing their benefits, their days off, their insurance, their health insurance, you know, on and on and on. And so we've got 3 pages of that.
I think if we do a few workshops ourselves, you know, we actually go home and do homework, that we can accomplish probably better than what MRI can do for us.
Yeah, I don't think we need to pay anyone, not for some, it's over.
You think you can get through this and come up with a,
Give me a weekend.
because that's about the time that we should be using on this. We've been talking about this forever.
Bridget,
I do feel, and I'm not trying to speak for everyone, but the merit pool way that we do things here has felt very subjective in the past years that I've been here. So not that I have anything against the knowledge of the board that is sitting in front of us right now, however, a company that's what they do. And if I think an outside source did it, it would feel more objective rather than subjective.
I agree with you. Yeah, I just think.
So we're a nonprofit company.
Yeah.
we are not, right,
So just to put that out there, we have a, you know, it's
That's all
where
the
we
stuff.
talked and stuff. We don't want, you know, in order to do this, do we have to raise all the fees that are being charged to the people in Nottingham for the services they're getting from the rec in order to raise more money?
It's a different pot of money.
But again,
no, it's not.
if there's the big pool.
But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about
Well,
coming up
no,
with.
not really, he's
because-
correct.
No,
It's-
no, it's not the same. I disagree. You have to recognize it.
Bridget,
I also disagree. I think one time, John, you said to me in a board meeting that I have to make more money to make more money, and that has stuck with me because I think that that is a salesman's point of view, and that is not the job that I do here. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to provide services to the town. And I know that we presented you guys with a lot of changes that is probably gonna cost a lot of money. I think it's above my pay grade to figure out all of those issues and how to solve them. But I do think that employees here need to be recognized more than they are, and I think that the stats from other towns are showing that.
What I'm looking at, it looks like we're either lower or on par with everyone
No,
that's
I-
compared.
I mean, I didn't think it looks that bad, honestly,
Does
from
it,
what I got to look at,
okay,
so.
does it go by department? I think each department here is treated differently.
Well, no, it's just by town.
Okay.
Who came up with this list there? Was this
Ellen put this together, I think.
Where did she get this?
Yeah, that's what she did, but yesterday.
No, this came from
She must
MRI.
drink a lot of coffee.
This came from MRI. It was part of the
Oh, it came from MRI?
yeah, we took it from
Oh, yeah, it does say MRI on the bottom.
Barrington. Barrington
Says-
has it done every 3 years
Mhm.
and professionally done, because I think their select board feels it's a little bit above their pay grade. And
Well, you
they-
know, we get the big bucks here.
We do get the big bucks, it's true, it's true. But My goal would be to have the staff have the confidence that this has been looked at.
What would it cost to have the study done?
I don't know,
Who knows, right,
it
we
might
don't
be
know.
3,000
you know?
bucks.
We don't wanna prioritize, like what we wanna do, like where's the priority this year is to see if we get all the funding we can for New Hampshire retirement.
Right, I
That's
think
our
that's,
priority.
That
should be-
sounds like it's
right,
what their biggest thing is.
right, if do you guys think that's your biggest
Not for
concern?
everyone. It's not
New
mine.
Hampshire
It's not
retirement?
for everybody.
No.
We're at different points in our career.
Because if you're not gonna work here for 10 years or so, then what's the point in switching over to
Okay, what's the next one down?
retirement?
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, what's your next list? What's-
I think kind of what, and I don't mean to speak for anybody, and I'm just trying to interpret. I think what Bridget was trying to say was that there's inconsistencies with policies, procedures, and the way things happen.
Mhm.
And I think having some continuity between if I go ask for something versus somebody go ask, and I'm nobody important, I'm just Corporal Chris, I just live in town, I'm just a normal, I'm just an employee, at the end of the day. But I think that we do have some inconsistencies on how things are approached and how, like you said, the
John was
employee
saying,
manual,
yeah.
everybody has different employee manual. We have a town employee manual that we all sign.
Right, I
It
really
may
thought we
be
had
different
ones.
depending on when you were hired, but the town employee manual that I sign, which if there's an update, we should all be signing them, and acknowledging the updates or changes or anything like that. And that's just me coming from a policy background, cause everything we do has continuity and everything has liability associated with it for us. So like, that's my area of knowledge is like, oh, I gave this to you, you signed it, now we know that you understand those things. I think that's kind of what she was saying. Like I said, I'm not trying to speak for anybody, but that's an experience that I've had. That in just talking that I the PD or the fire department or the town public works can go do something, ask for something. Then when the PD, the town, the rec or whoever goes and asks it, it's a totally different response. Based on what they feel that morning or that day. Same thing with vacation time, same thing with sick time, same thing with any of our time, any of our pay, any of that kind of stuff. And I know that that is a burden on a lot of people. And what to Charlotte's point, like it is very, very hard to retain people, especially when other towns are offering $10, $12, $15 more an hour for basic positions. And that sounds crazy, but it's true. Raymond right now just put forth a contract that's $14 more an hour. That's crazy, that's a lot of money, but competitive is competitive.
But they'll save money in the long run because they'll retain their staff. They
You
will
hire,
be training people and having them leave.
you hire another cop, another firefighter, another Department of Public Works, another rec employee. I'm preaching to the choir at this point, but now we gotta pay someone to train that person, which is taking them off of the road, taking them off of their duty, or in addition to having to complete their duties in time, and now we have OT, we have all this other stuff included with the knowledge and expertise that person has to be able to train that person. And if we continue to lose people that are FTOs, that are trainers, that are CITs, that are all that, and obviously you have some seasonal turnover, children, kids, young adults come into work, like that obviously is a revolving door because that's
Yeah.
the nature of it. But when we have some of those other positions, it's tough.
Alright.
And so, sorry.
Just so I make sure I'm on the same thing as what you guys are looking for. You wanna be able to carry over your time you've earned, right? But then there's also an issue where, for example, the police and fire department don't earn it the same way everyone else does.
So we all earn it the same way.
But your hours are
It's
different.
Our shifts
Right.
It's
Right.
different,
So
right,
you
and
end
that's,
up
Takes
getting,
longer, yeah.
you don't get to enjoy the same
Yes.
benefit. So, alright, so there's carrying over, which personally, I don't see how that is an issue, they earned it
right,
anyways.
well, right,
So if they
there's,
spend it now, I mean, it's only seems like I get it on larger scale companies or towns where, it's tens of thousands of dollars,
we
but
also need to make sure that before we actually commit to anything, that our payroll system can handle it.
Oh,
That's
In
a
terms of-
problem right now.
good point. Yeah.
I know,
Vacation times are
huh?
correct.
Right, I know it's a problem right now,
It's
but
like
that's,
16
Accruals
personal
are
days
correct.
that's
right
why
now.
we need to make sure that we do it and make it consistent. And, there's a lot of little pieces that have to be done, it's all intertwined. So you can't just say, oh, here you go. You need to we need to look at it holistically. So, but yes, carryover is important.
How they earn their
Right,
vacation
and
time.
how, right, so,
And then what was the other one you guys were asking for? Oh, the New Hampshire Health, obviously.
Yeah, that's,
Just a
I mean,
caveat on like I'm concerned, it's not necessarily that like we have to work 2 months to get 1 day, it's that the manual states 1 day.
right,
And
it's,
and that's all, like an update to what 1 day
shift,
means.
yeah.
right.
You know, or if it's you accrue 8 hours of vacation time per month for your first 5 years, then it's, 1.5 days, then it's 1.75 days. But in hour form, that way it's clear and concise, and that way there is no ambiguity.
Right,
Like the
it-
fire department, they're on 24s.
Yeah.
So you gotta work
Right.
like 3 months.
it
4
probably
months.
should be just straight out, you earn X minutes or whatever in an hour. So that way if somebody works an 8-hour day, or if somebody works a 10-hour day, or a 12-hour day, or a 24-hour day, it's like,
But I get what you're saying, like it's based on the amount of hours you work.
right,
Like for us, this past pay period, I will work 111 hours work.
right,
So I would accrue a different amount of hours versus I accrue my 8 hours or my 12 hours per month.
right.
Based on my base hours. So I don't know how that would work.
Right, and
I'm
it's
just saying, like,
just,
how-
it's, that way it's consistent, it's not like this random day for,
Yeah, it could
I
be
did,
a amount of hours, yeah.
Or like Adam said, just front load our vacation.
yeah, that's not,
And that way-
that's not always the best thing. I mean, it might
Oh, I
work
do.
good, right, it
It's
probably
easy.
worked good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You
not,
know?
cause they still have to ask for approval to
Right.
get that time off.
Yeah.
But it's also like, what if you have to take a 2-week vacation, or like my family lives in Florida, my dad just had a stroke and I had to take 2 weeks off to go take care of him in Florida. And I had to drop at the bottom of the hat, and I don't have that amount of time.
So it's easy enough to put in a provision to like quote unquote
Borrow.
borrow.
Yeah, but if we just gave them the time, I could just use my time. And then that way there is no provisions, there's no preferential, there's nothing, it's you get your
Right.
time
Well,
and then, or you don't get your time.
And that causes more room for error.
Yeah,
no,
yes,
It
yes,
doesn't.
you don't
Jump
you don't deal with the
Not
vacation
if the
system.
pay-
My pay has been messed up,
right,
raise your hand if
right.
your pay has been messed up.
I
Raise your hand if your vacation is messed up, all of them, I bet every
The
employee
reason I do
would
it
raise
that
their
way,
hand.
Joe,
that's a whole different
I'll
problem.
listen.
The system is bad, we know that.
What's the holdup on it though? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
I'm not
Because
trying to
we-
be like,
because
I'm
we
just
get
trying to
things
say.
like this and get in the weeds with it, which is really like too much.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for this select board.
But they're only asking for a few things, all this other stuff's fluff, they're not asking for raises and more money for their boots, and they just want,
So this
consider New Hampshire
stuff
Health.
should be the stuff that we're working towards. I mean, you know our situation, we don't have a lot of money, right? But
The only thing a study would do is show us where to cut back, I mean, we're pretty on average on everything here. So, I mean, we can meet these few items are what their big
it's
things
really
are.
not,
You can't give them yes to the whole sheet, but maybe
Right,
you can
right,
help
but I
with
mean, we
these
can
few
get,
items.
right, I don't, it's like, we need to figure out what we can give to meet their needs.
Yeah, figure out how to make it work.
Right, how to make it work,
so your
exactly.
immediate concerns, I mean, we should be able to deal with these without all of this. I think what we're also talking about is having a different system with, getting rid of the merit. Doing a step type system, so we don't keep coming back to this and falling behind over and over and over again. But yeah, I don't see the problem with, I mean, we should be able to get through this list and
Yeah, at least to show
figure out what
them,
we
yeah.
can and can't do in a timely fashion so that you have trust in us. I mean, we have an obligation to the taxpayers, but we have an obligation to you too. Mr. Chairman?
So,
John,
well,
we had a question in the audience.
Sorry, Nancy.
I'd also like to bring up the stipend if you don't take the health benefits. I know it doesn't affect most people want the health benefits, but for the few that don't take them, they get absolutely no benefit and no stipend, no compensation whatsoever for saving the town thousands and thousands of dollars.
That's an easy
Right,
fix,
I mean,
I think. yeah.
Right, but it's just a matter of determining what that is and stuff like that. I'm sure that there's something that can happen. It's gonna take us time to determine these actual things.
Shouldn't take that much time.
Well, first of all, we can't make any decisions tonight.
No, of course not. This is a workshop, right?
So-
We're spitting things. John, you're very quiet.
And I wouldn't be prepared to make,
worry about
I wouldn't be prepared to make any decisions tonight anyway,
Why not?
because
We
I
can.
don't think we've had time to adequately go through everything.
I mean, even if we do go through all this whole list, I mean, what would the study show? We need to go up here, we need to go down there? I mean,
Well,
But
right,
they're
and
all
that's,
paying
different
$3 grand
size
for-
right,
towns,
so when
they're-
that's the thing.
yeah.
it's still up to us.
I mean, it's somewhat
If we're ahead
comparable,
someplace, right, it's up to us to make those decisions.
Right, so what's the study gonna do? They're the ones that are telling us
Confuse
what's
us.
gonna make them happy. Well, that's what I mean, they're telling us what they'd like to see to make them feel better, about doing what
but I
they
think
do.
because we've had so much poaching, like literal poaching,
What poaching,
what's poaching?
what poaching have we had?
The firefighter. Oh,
I
Would
will
you
answer
like to
that if
tell
you'd like
us?
me to.
for those who don't know?
Would you like me to elaborate on that?
Go ahead, sure.
So in the past year, we've lost 2 officers,
Yep.
approximately $60,000 to $80,000 to outfit a single officer.
Mhm.
And we've lost 1 to Raymond and we've lost 1 to Londonderry.
Right.
Before that, we've lost them to Somersworth. Before that, we've lost them to Cheshire County Sheriff's Office. Before that, we've lost officers to Epic PD. We've lost 2 officers actually to Raymond PD. And that's just in the last half a decade. That's in the last 4 years. And those are just the ones that are on the top of my head. And like I said, every officer is $60,000 to $80,000 to outfit, train, certify, and make sure that they are not a continued liability to the town to then offer us even more.
And then let's talk about fire
wait,
department.
Wait.
Fire
Well,
department, same thing.
fire
We're gonna have a
department,
discussion right now.
there's more.
Yeah, let's do it, John.
And I'm, you know what, again,
I love you, John. Let's get it out. No
Again.
hard feelings.
absolutely. Do you feel that it's not the work environment here that people are leaving because they don't like our chief, they don't like the lieutenant, they don't like the captain? It's not for those reasons they're leaving, correct?
So
And again, you don't have to answer that question because that's kind of personal, so we'll go
No, no,
on.
I'm not
We're
even.
gonna- We're gonna go back to one more, I'm not finished, something, 1 second.
You got it.
Or could it be the possible, because that we're a smaller department, the fact of getting promoted and moving yourself up the ladder in a situation, since Nottingham's department is pretty young for the employees that are here, that are working in your department, that some of the younger recruits that do come in here see, well, how can I make lieutenants? How can I make sergeant? How can I be there if these positions are already filled in town without these people leaving? Wouldn't, if they want to advance their career in law enforcement, have to go somewhere else?
So in my tenure, sorry.
Again, I mean, I look at that as why I'm saying is that it's not when people leave here, I hope they're not leaving because they're dissatisfied with the work environment. It's the fact that, are they leaving because they're not getting promoted to go anywhere else?
So twofold on that. Being a cop sucks.
Absolutely, not
I'll just put that right out there, and it's not for everybody.
Nope.
Sometimes I wake up and I think it's not for me.
Okay.
I still put my
I think
boots on.
that's sometimes about my job too, but.
Yeah, you know, and it is what it is, and.
Work is a
that's-
4-letter word.
I'm sorry?
Work is a 4-letter word.
It is, and so is JOB. Well, that's 3, but you know, it's just as bad. But I think the biggest thing is not necessarily the objectivity of promotion. I think it's more so somewhat the support of the officers and employees who are newer, where they come in and they see that, oh shoot, I'm making $25 an hour. Oh shoot, I have to work 2 months to get a single day off. Or, oh shoot, I have to do this, or oh shoot, I have to do that, combined with being a smaller town, and there is time in between getting promoted. It took me 6 years to get promoted to corporal. You know, and in most places, that's just like senior patrol, master patrol. And that's with putting in all the extra time, hours, making money, getting money for the town via grants, doing all of the other things that I also do for the town. And that's obviously me in my selfish zone talking about specifically that. But the biggest thing I think that contributes to it is the town support when, you know, I had to talk people off the ledge, hypothetical at ledge, about wanting to go to Lee or Barrington because they don't charge them for healthcare. And not only that, if they don't take it, they get their stipend. They get more vacation time, or they get their vacation time front loaded. And I'm not harping on those because those are experiences that like I want. I'm just harping on it because those are things that like we've talked about. And then at the end of all that, it was about the leadership. that, hey, not talking bad about Lee, not talking about Barrington, not talking bad about other towns, that leadership may not be the leadership that you wanna be a part of. That it may be worth sticking it out, doing your time, learning at the place that you are on the totem pole. That way, in the eventuality, there will be openings. There will be time to move up. You know, obviously, we don't have the promotion progression of Nashua or Raymond even. And in my tenure here, the probably dozen or so people who have moved on, only one of them has made rank in another town in the time that I've been here. Or they're not a cop anymore. It turned out to not be for them after they moved. So I very much understand like where you're coming from and what you're saying, and I appreciate the way that you phrased the question, John. Because that's an important way to view both sides of it. Yeah, that's my TED talk.
From my understanding, most of the folks who've left, both fire and police, if you go to Manchester or Nashua, yeah, that's something. But I don't see any great opportunities that much better in a lot of these other small towns they've gone to.
Yeah.
They've left for the money.
Yeah, it's money.
And the fire department, according to Chief Curry, last, I guess, not this big incident, but the last fire he was at, there was another fire chief there handing out cards to our guys and saying, hey, if you'd like to make more money, that's poaching.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's poaching. But that's what they're doing because people,
That's the climate.
it's a
yeah.
competitive
business.
market.
That's business right now.
Business,
Business.
yeah, it's business.
I am, yeah. What are you concerned about as far as making sure our payroll system can handle it? What would be the biggest draw in your mind that would potentially be a problem? Is it the New Hampshire Health or the vacation time or?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I know the payroll system's pretty fragile. And without
You made John mad.
Getting a pen so I can start writing.
without making, because if you make changes to something, it may not be able to track those changes.
Alright,
We have a new
no, I am
payroll
really
system.
just asking that, I'm just
I
curious.
know we're supposed to be getting a new one, but
We have one.
right,
We have,
Aren't their pays already budgeted for, assuming they take all their vacation, assuming they take all their days off? That's already budgeted, right? So what would be the
the
drain?
current stuff is
let's go back to paper sheet.
budgeted. What are you
What
asking?
are we changing? We're not increasing their days off, we're just giving them upfront.
Raising extra money.
No, well, that was one of their questions, they wanted to have more vacation time.
Oh, add more on
They
top,
wanted to add
okay.
more, that was one of the
No.
things.
No,
There was, the amount of accrual is adding vacation days,
after 15 years.
so.
After 15 years.
After 15
Well,
years.
How many of those do we have in town?
I don't know,
We
you
have
know?
two.
So, I mean, but that's still adding additional time. You know, I'm looking at the whole list, not just,
Well, I feel like you've seen inequities. And
Yes.
and these are pretty simple lists, what are 5 things here?
And it's
Or
like,
4, not even 5.
that's like things that we have experienced for years here. Like I'm going on almost 8 years and it's like we're, you know, speaking up now. It's not like we are demanding $30,000 raises for everyone. Like these are things that are normal and happening in other towns. And I think the sheets in front of you are probably an average of everything. And we are not all the same department to department. I know some departments have, you know, competitive wages when my department does not. So it goes back to the steps being important and things being consistent. Yeah. Cause it matters and everything in local government is transparent and that can cause some resentment.
Especially the small town.
According to this, you can get $300 boots every year.
Great. I haven't got those yet, so we don't need those.
that's,
Just saying,
We didn't
I don't
say what
think she
kind of
can.
boots
that's a
you
good
have.
perk, I have them on my own.
I don't think she can.
No.
2 things. One on the boots, I get us smoking deals on boots. Just saying, I've
Good
got
to
an
go.
account, get us a smoking discount on them. Second is like one of the big things that I've learned through any of the FBI classes, leadership classes, is anything we deal with our employees and anything we deal with like being a supervisor or leader of, you know, next door is to be fair and equitable. And fair and equitable is like the biggest thing. And I'm not using equitable in you know how it can be used, but fair and how things can be equal for
I like
the
that, Doc.
people involved. And fairness is obviously, it's all subjective, equitability is subjective, but having the same thing, if the rec department goes over, PD goes over, fire department goes over, we could be like, nah, this is the policy,
Yeah.
not.
I think we
make
have it
this
within our
happen.
power to make it equitable.
And we are a
Yeah.
small town, so obviously there's one-off things, God forbid something bad happens to somebody, like with Joe, making sure that he's taken care of. I can't even
And we're
say-
very
Like
thankful
with-
for that.
I'm sorry.
Like, we're very happy and thankful that we have the flexibility here, and we've all have needed that. We get that. Again, this is like, I'm going on almost 11 years, I think. I don't know, I've lost count, but these are things that, I don't know, it's just taken us a long time to have, I guess, the courage to come up and just have a discussion about it, not trying to be, I know that you guys have to be mindful about the taxpayers and that you aren't the board for the rest of the life and you haven't been the board the whole time I've been here, but it does feel like that is the priority, which is great, but it does feel like the employees sometimes get forgotten about. So here we are, trying to fix those things
And
ourselves.
of course, we all wanna be fair and do the right thing, and, we just need to make sure that we understand the problems before we make a decision. So there's, and we need to kind of balance it in stages, cause if we're really committed to do the New Hampshire retirement piece, that's gonna be a big hit for us this year. And I know it's not gonna apply to everybody. But, I'm sure that there's some of these things that we can do, but I don't think we can do all of them.
That seems fair. I just want it to be on your
Mhm.
your radar that, a lot of employees signed that.
Right,
thing
and
that's
we gotta get that straightened out. That sounds like it's a mess.
Can we take care of the things that we know aren't gonna cost us any extra money, like?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we can
The
move,
low
Think of the
hanging
front
fruit,
loading?
yeah.
I think we can definitely move forward with a
Vacation.
proposal to either increase, and I'm sorry for coming in late, but like increasing the unused vacation time, being able to roll over instead of the 1 week, increasing that to 2 weeks at a minimum. Those are things that we can definitely take care of. And then even looking at the accrual of time for people that have served more than 10 years. Because again, like, it should be an incentive, especially for your longevity,
I
with
think
the lack of
It
longevity.
sounds like our whole accrual thing needs to be completely looked at
Revamped,
from the beginning.
Correct.
Before we make any decision on that, we need to just basically tear that apart and make it equitable, because if a day is not a day and stuff like that. So that just needs to be,
It's a no-brainer.
before we make any decision on accrual, let's just tear it apart and start that one over.
I think the specific part with that, and I think a little bit of lost in translation on my part, and I apologize, I didn't explain it well enough. But the big thing with that was just the verbiage.
Right.
I'm fine accruing 8 hours, it's just,
Well-
it says 1 day, and 1 day for me and 1 day for the fire is not.
Right.
That's my only,
Yeah.
my only.
Exactly, it's verbiage, but we need to get that straightened out before we can then tweak it to amounts or whatever. Let's get the verbiage straightened out first. Baby steps.
Oh, and then we'll change your policy, yeah, which is good, and that will change our.
Right.
The accrual thing for
Policy.
something for,
Right.
Yeah.
I think the accrual thing for a place this small is just a lot of extra work and a lot of extra tracking. When you could just give them
Yeah,
it
but
to
we're
them
already-
up front and be done with it, it's not that many people here.
I know.
I mean, how many people are in the police department total? Two
We got
including
5 right now.
5, how many people in your department?
3.
We're talking about less than 20 people for the entire town.
I had more people than that, my,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just give, I mean, it would be easier if probably, who's in charge of tracking it all?
It would be a lot easier, because then you're not, especially with the timing being off with the accrual versus the shifts that are worked, then you're not putting somebody in a potential negative because they have to work 3 months to recoup a shift or a week's worth of shifts.
And I know for as far as quality of life goes, my wife accrues sometime, and it's, me, I can do whatever I want, really. I say, let's go. I haven't got that many days yet, I took a day. drives me nuts. It's like- And again, I get it, on large scale companies, I get that.
Right,
'Cause you
but if you burn out your days of vacation in the beginning and then you say, let's take a day, she still can't. You know, it's just management.
That would be her
Just-
fault and my
who
fault, and I
cares
guess I
if
flipped the bill
vacation,
at that
sick
point.
days?
It's
but-
just, it's management, it's
Personal
just
time.
management of your time.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
Not ours, you're making it our problem for
But
us
they-
to manage their time.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing whether it's
And it-
accrued or not,
PTO.
but I don't know.
But it, sorry. I know that for me, so in April, I host an international shooting competition at 6 Hour. And it's a 2-week long competition. Like I said, my days roll over, and this is just my experience, I know people have different experiences, this is me stepping into my selfish Chris zone. But for me, I have to take 2 weeks off, I don't accrue, or I would not accrue that time, cause my anniversary days in March. So I would have 40 hours, and oftentimes I have to ask, hey, I'm gonna use the time, I need it next month than this month. Whereas if I just got it front loaded, there'd be no questions, there'd be no
Time,
asking.
yeah.
I'm entitled to the time anyways, cause I'm gonna accrue it, and if I leave, then I leave.
Yeah, if you're not, if the accrual happens like after a certain date, so if it goes down to 0 or whatever, and then you start accruing again, that's bad.
So it
that's-
doesn't, it's just, whatever you have over 40 hours, it drops to 40, and then it accrues at the next month. So as you work through the month, you get another 8, 12, how many ever hours, depending on your years, is how it accrues. Regardless of how many hours you work. You accrue 8 hours a month, 12 hours a month, 16 hours a month, depending on your time on.
We need to start with the policies.
That's where we're at.
We'll change
That's
this.
what we're
That's
doing.
what we're doing.
The actual verbiage.
am I
of the-
missing?
We need to start with the policies instead of these, instead of the.
Policy changes.
I think we should take care of the easy stuff we know isn't gonna
Right,
drain
well,
the
pol-
money.
Hanging
right,
fruit, we can take-
the policies are the,
Show them we're.
should be the easy stuff.
Right.
You know, that's,
Can-
then we could figure out what to fill in
John, where are you on the
blanks.
front loading thing? I think Charlotte, you and I are on the same
Yeah.
page.
Definitely.
John, I said Charlotte and I think are on the same page. Where are you on the whole accruing or just front loading it or?
I have no problem front loading vacation.
That sets the precedent.
Right, that's the easy,
Budget for
it's the
anyways.
same freaking thing anyways.
Yes.
It is.
Whatever. So instead of waiting to recur, my company that I work for, who I've been for 13 years, a long time, switched. And now we get, every month we get the extra day or two and we build up. So at the start of my hire day, I'm back to 0 again. But they're nice enough to say, well, John, you've been here long enough. So they are kind of front loading it, but even though figuratively they're not doing
So
it
it's a
that
pain in the
way.
butt.
That's their accounting problem, not
Right.
mine.
Yeah.
But so again, the front loading, I have no problem with that. Easy. I have no problem with insurance buyout if we're gonna go onto there on the policy. I think that's fine. You know, if people need some more money, sure. We can work on pay raises to get them a little bit more. I mean, I'm taking the basics. But then we come down to the big thing, is the New Hampshire retirement.
Right.
That's really what's gonna affect our budget this
Right.
next year.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it might not affect our budget that much right now. Because again, the way we're staffed.
The way we're staffed, and if we do
If we
the
do it-
later in the year transition, if you're talking
Right,
about
but
only
it'll-
capturing.
Well,
You know,
wouldn't it make sense to do it now
next
while we
year.
are small, so we can
It will.
get used to it
That's why,
before we start growing?
that's exactly why I'm,
Yeah.
you know, so I mean, those are like
Till
my
later in the
4, you know, hitting points. And I'd like to say over the past couple of years, you know, that we sat here, we as a board have done a fair job at increasing the pay from where it was to benefit to, I mean, from old school Nottingham towards, and again, it's not anybody's opinion I'm asking for on this, but you know, we were 3 years ago very hefty with our increase with the police because we knew they were down. And again, at the rising cost of getting police officers, I understand that that's gonna change. The rec department, again, they're, for what they do, I've never been opposed for what they were getting paid. I was never opposed, you know, to making somebody full-time, even though other people were. You know, in incentivizing what they do for the community because they're a huge part of the community. Let's just narrow down what we need to do. You know, I mean, there's 4 points that were brought up right now that, again, I'm not opposed to any of them.
Yeah. So it sounds like the only thing we really need to sit down and figure out is New Hampshire Health. Which again, I personally think, like you just said,
Time.
it'd be good to get it started now where we are small.
Mhm.
And that way we're already acclimated when we slowly start growing, instead of being shocked when we're, God, 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line.
Yeah, we can't fall so far behind
Yeah,
again.
right.
Because that was that catching up that I think you guys
Yeah.
did on the
But
board.
we
was-
were-
It was a lot of catching up to do.
Situation arose where we could.
Yeah.
Right, and it's even right now where, being down 2 officers in the police department is a way that if they needed a little more incentive, because it's already budgeted in, that's a way to, boost that up there too, like, well, we're, again, there's ways to do it without drastically affecting, the town's budget.
Yeah.
And that's how we kind of have to do it, if it was fully staffed, and I mean, again, there's gonna be different ways of doing it. But you wanna take the employees that have been here and that have showed the time, again, I don't mind them making the pay. Whether, hey, if you worked here 10 years, maybe you do deserve an extra bigger bump,
Well,
or
you're
5 years than
seasoned
what
and-
you're gonna get, than the normal
Yeah.
3%
Gives them something to stick
increase.
around for,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But they also showed they showed the willingness to stick around,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
The officers that are leaving now, hey, thank you for your time, thank you for your effort, the new ones. The officers that have been here 5 or 10 years, we should be rewarding them in order to keep them here.
Yes.
They already know the town, they know it, and same with our rec
Have
employees,
experience.
same with our highway employees, same, with the recycling employees. There is an incentive, I mean, everybody has to retire at some time.
I don't think I'm gonna.
was gonna say.
I'll be working till the day I die.
But that's, kind of his, if you've only been here 5 years working for us, again, you can't accept the same, red carpet, I'm sorry, than somebody that's been here for 10 years.
Oh, we wanna have incentives, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Can I ask just to clarify, so I thought this was super clear and super helpful for me.
Thanks, Charlotte.
To me, it really, these are your asks, these are the explanations, this is why it really helped clarify things for me. But I'm asking, for younger folks who are working here now, as opposed to a more seasoned person, you have different needs, and what would be most important to you, not Karen? Nancy, what?
I mean, the healthcare buyout is big.
Yeah.
It's just something I don't get a benefit from and I receive no compensation for it.
Yeah.
Raises would be nice too. The pay does start pretty low.
And you probably wouldn't be in the New Hampshire
Nope,
retirement system,
nope, that won't do a thing for
right?
me.
You're not gonna work till you're 100, right?
Nope.
No. I envy you.
At least 10 more years though, right?
Depends on the raises.
But we're lucky to have someone like Nancy who came in and filled a really important role and is a seasoned worker. Different needs. So we're gonna work on policy, and that's gonna change.
As far as the time, the accruals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Let's do it.
So do you wanna look at the actual policies and?
Well, what we have right now is so unclear, which is why we're at
I
this
know,
table.
yeah.
Right, but that's what we really need to start with.
Yes.
Because without a good base,
So
We'll just
baseline,
throw
I mean,
in-
we've already been through the revisions as far as, to Chris's point, changing the language so that it matches the department shift. So rather than, instead of the hours, it's the days, or making the hours be equivalent to the department. So we're talking about, if they work a 10-hour shift and we're doing one day, it's 10 hours versus 24 for the fire department versus 8 for the rest of the staff.
right, but
So we
what
should do
is
it
that,
hourly.
Chris?
Would it make, I don't know, I'm just a kid in the back. Would it make more sense to just give people like minus the fire department, cause that's kind of funky, the 24.
Fire department needs to be on an island.
Yeah, yeah, they have
Unfortunately.
their own little subsection in
They
there.
do.
Would it make more sense to give people time based on like their longevity here and just say, you know, you get 80 hours of vacation for your first 5 years, which is 2 weeks off, or you get your 120 hours, or whatever the case may be? Would that make more sense? Cause like we accrue time, but it's not hours based, it's
Right.
month based.
Right.
So either way we will accrue that same amount of time.
So that's what we're talking about with front loading it. So when you hit your anniversary date, if you are that employee that's at the 2 week of vacation time, you would automatically just have that 80
You just
hours.
get your hours. yeah.
Correct.
And then anything, so like, if you carried over your 40, cause that's what we carry over now, and you were at your 40,
Then
and you
you
got
would
your,
have
you got your 2
80.
weeks, so now you'd have your
120.
120, okay.
It probably would be easier to do front loading with our just shifts.
Yes.
You know, it would make the whole hour thing just say,
Disappear.
here you go,
Mhm.
you manage it yourself. And then even if we allowed carrying over up to 2 weeks additional, instead of just 40 hours, carrying, so that way, you know, but, you know, do you wanna do it at people's anniversaries, or do we wanna transition everybody to like a January 1st date, you know, and there's so
I-
many decisions.
I think, so the reason why we moved away from the performance reviews on the anniversary date was because it seemed like there must have been an influx of hiring between the month of September and November, because that's when like 75% of our workforce was due for performance reviews, and we were in the middle of budget season, and then it was delayed 3, 4, 6 months. Some people went without. So we've transitioned over to an April
Right, which makes,
review month, which
So,
makes sense,
and
cause we
that's-
know what we're working with for a budget, what we have for a merit compensation
Mhm.
pool, which I hope to get rid of, sidebar. So yeah, I think that it would be a lot easier for all of us, even for planning purposes, to say January 1. It's the start of the new year, here's the start of your benefits package.
That doesn't seem like it's a really big move.
no, as
It
long
will
as,
simplify things incredibly, I think. So, we're in agreement?
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, again,
so if we shift that, right. So that would remove the whole accruing thing.
Mhm.
So that whole paragraph would then just go away.
If you, with regards to like with getting rid of that paragraph, if it's like the like, you know, 1 to 5, you accrue your 80 hours, or you accrue 2 weeks of vacation, you know, equivalent to 80. You know, you're here 5 to 10, you accrue your 120, or 3 weeks equivalent 120 hours kind of thing, is what my mind goes to, and that gets rid of, minus fire department, cause they're weird, they would need their own thing.
Well, no, they would still get their X weeks.
Yeah, it'd be right up front.
Yeah, no,
Right
well,
up
like, yes, I
I think
get
it should
what
be the
I get
same
what you're
across the
saying.
board.
It would be just consistent for everybody.
No,
Yeah.
the only reason I say it's different, because they have different hours and.
That's still the same, they have a day off, they have a day off.
Well, they have a
Yeah,
day
well,
off, they're
but-
using technically 3 of everybody else's.
But they
Right.
usually, they work 48-hour weeks.
Right.
Which is the difference between, compared to like everyone else, we work 40, some of us get more just because of coverage and stuff, but anyway, I think that's a way to get rid of the ambiguity, and it's a way, you front load it right up front, hey, here's your 2 weeks, here's your 3 weeks, and how you use it is up to you. And then you can only carry over 2, figure it out. And then we're all big boys and girls. We should all be able to figure that part out, because I know the accrual thing is, like, you're accruing on the last day where your time turns over, and that's super weird. And then we've all lost time many times, and we don't get paid out. You know, we've had very specific times, like when we've been short-staffed, where we'll get some sort of money for that. But at the end of the day, we did earn that time. You know, that's the big thing on the accrual-based system, so it's my TED talk.
Seems like we're coming up with a solution.
Okay.
So can I just ask a question? like right now, you're talking about like right up front getting like 2 weeks of vacation, but right now we get more than 2 weeks if we accrue over the entire year.
Cause you get like 12
You
days.
get 12 days. So 2 weeks would actually be losing a couple of days of vacation.
It's 96
Well,
hours.
we'll figure that out, what those amounts are. We were just talking about
Obviously.
front loading your vacation time.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be different for different years of service anyway.
Why would that change
So-
though, if they get 12 days, so to speak, for the year, why don't they just get 12 days on
Right.
January 1st?
Right, right, they
Shouldn't
would
be a
get,
difference.
yeah,
Hey, you keep the same amount, I'm thinking you're gonna
It'd be
keep what you
tricky if
usually
we
have.
took
right,
time
we're not
away from
gonna,
you.
yeah, we're not gonna take, right, so.
We're just gonna let you
So
use it
zero
how
to
you.
five-
numbers as
0 to 5 would
light,
get their,
easy
their
numbers.
12 days.
So here's a question for you, why don't you take that 0 to 5 years of service, take out the 12 days and make it 10 days?
Yeah.
No, we don't wanna
Yeah,
take
well-
away.
Well, hold on, I wasn't finished what I'm saying,
No vacation for you.
alright? But we could add, instead of 2 personal days, we could add more personal days.
Right now, we lose our personal days. There's something that we cannot roll over.
Yep, those don't roll over.
We also, I think, can only use our vacation time in certain increments,
No more than 2 weeks at a time without additional approval.
I think
like 4 hours or something like that.
Oh, I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a payroll thing. No, that's a
That-
policy thing.
Right, that was one of the things I was talking about, the payroll system. You know, it's like, it would be nice if they could take an hour off to go to the doctor.
Yes,
Right.
and we
Yeah.
can with our sick time, you can use hours, you can use hours with sick time, but you have to use 4 hours in vacation time.
Yeah, that's stupid, it's,
Personally, I
just,
think you have
time
to
should be
use that.
time.
So if you just have,
Time should just be
Yeah.
time.
just, right,
I wouldn't
don't
mind,
divide it into sick and vacation.
you start getting people up to 25 years, and I wouldn't be opposed to up increasing those days.
Yeah,
And those are loyal people.
well,
They're
Yeah.
old people.
most places stop at 4 weeks,
Yeah.
just, that, and that's it, you get 20 days.
Not near it.
Starts out.
Yeah, sick time must be used in half-day increments.
Sick time has to be used in half-day increments too?
We definitely have not been doing that.
Let's change that.
Sick time in day and half day increments.
Oh,
And you can take, vacation time may be taken in full day or half-day increments. According to, oh, I'm sorry, that's part-time.
I think it's the same for full.
I think it is too.
That stuff doesn't need to change, does it? If they're not, they have no problem with that.
You should be able to use your time. I mean, like, we don't wanna get down to like 10 minutes at a time or quarter hours, but like if it's at least,
An hour,
something
an
reasonable.
hour is reasonable. You know, somebody's gotta go to the dentist. You're taking 2 hours off, maybe.
see it defined under the full-time, only under the part-time. But I think that is a payroll thing. I think that carried over from ADP. ADP wouldn't let us do less than 4.
Yep.
And that, so. Okay, so, moving forward.
Moving forward. Alright. So we're gonna front load and allow for like 2 weeks carryover.
That's what we've accomplished so far, except for what you accomplished before I got here.
We
Is that it?
Yeah.
Good job. Let's keep going. Alright. Sick and vacation time, we're gonna follow policy,
We
not
still,
prior.
wait, I mean, I think we accomplished that we're sticking with the New Hampshire retirement.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Which isn't on here, but.
Right, which is not on there, but that was
Priority,
what
yeah.
we've already
Yep.
previously been talking about for a while now.
Okay.
Are we moving on to shifts earned?
I don't wanna talk about shifts earned because we're not talking about accrual stuff yet.
Okay,
Well,
so
that's
while we're
getting
still
scratched.
talking about Bridget and Nancy's topic number 3, I guess it would be the earned time buyout. So again, we don't allow people, we're gonna allow now potentially 2 weeks of vacation time to roll over. As far as a buyout, you don't get to buy out unused time, but when you separate from employment, when you give 2 weeks' notice, you get all of your unused accrued vacation time plus 30% of your sick leave.
It should never be more than 2 weeks, right? Cause you're not wrong, oh no, it could be up to 4 weeks.
You could be up to 4 weeks, correct?
Or if you have more people.
Yeah.
Or like more time on.
Like if I was a 4-week accrual, I rolled
Right.
2 and I left, that could be like a 6.
That's where it gets risky,
Well,
if
that's-
someone
That's where it
quits at
does
the
get
beginning of the
risky.
year.
See, now
But
that's
you're
where
talk-
it should get,
Is there anything we can do to play with that to
No.
protect from someone waiting until
Yes.
January first to quit?
yeah,
It-
because it should get,
If you just have a prorated clause in there.
right, prorated, thank
Yeah.
you, that's what I was looking for,
Yeah.
proration
Yeah.
on that earned,
Okay, so we need to add that in there.
right.
Yep.
Yep,
There we
add
go.
proration.
Yeah, perfect.
For specifically leaving.
Yes.
Yep. So don't leave.
Okay.
Right, which is, that's fair.
Also, we don't wanna incentivize them leaving.
Right, right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna wait till January 1st and.
Take a month's pay and say, see ya.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks in on December.
A prorating is, yeah, that's, okay, that problem solved?
Okay, so, yeah, just to clarify, I did find it in the policy, so the buyout at that separation, they get 30% of the sick time that they've accrued and the unused vacation time. Okay,
What are we doing with sick time?
that's 30% of whatever they've, so they can get, right now, they can
Yeah,
accrue
so
up
it's like
to
we talked about.
720 hours, which is 90 days, which is the standard practice because the assumption before short-term and long-term disability insurance were even offered, if somebody has to go out for a major surgery, that's about the average recovery time is 90 days. So that's why most towns went with that figure. So it's just something that's been carried forward. So 30% of that is what, 240?
And that's what we've been doing already?
Yep.
That's, they're not asking for anything to change,
Right,
it be, if it ain't broken.
no, I mean, I guess that's fine, I was just thinking that
Something
people
right.
maybe wanted to do a one balance, but if we're gonna stick with sick time, then let's stick with that,
Okay. So you're talking about rolling everything together,
Yeah,
pulling it all together?
right?
yeah,
That was one of the things we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the paid
but we
time
didn't-
off.
yeah,
Mhm.
I like PTO.
It's up for discussion, but I mean,
Right.
that, we're talking about starting from
Right.
scratch. Maybe that's something for, I would almost recommend maybe moving that out at the
That's
beginning
fine.
of a year,
That's fine,
not a mid-year shift,
I'm okay with that.
thinking from payroll perspective.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
that's what I'm worried about too, the payroll system.
I'd like to see us go
It
to
can't,
that.
it can't be any worse than the transition I just threw in there.
I mean, I would hope Harper systems can hold up to an incremental change.
Yeah.
Since they are a municipal based.
Software.
Well,
Just shuffle some stuff around, worst case scenario,
Yeah, payroll's been tough.
just won't be elected again, that's all. Oops,
Great way to look at it.
guess I must start playing darts or something instead.
We said that? Insurance buyout?
so insurance buyout, I would rather wait till we start talking about that at
Budget.
budget time.
I agree with that
That's,
too.
that's not a discussion for to do mid-year. That's like something we'd wanna probably roll with a January 1st renewal and that stuff and,
Right.
you know, but we need to put it on the agenda to start talking about it at least in at the very latest November,
October?
probably
Well, no, I mean,
October, whatever. When do we start getting rates?
they're set in October, mid-October.
So that's when we need to talk about that.
Happy Halloween.
Okay.
So let's include that with that discussion.
Yeah, I don't know if how in-depth you looked at the report that I did, but I think we are one of like 4 towns that do not offer that. I mean, this isn't a
Well,
full
it's definitely
chapter,
something,
but
definitely something we can talk about, but
Right,
I'm all for jumping on and taking care of all these things that aren't gonna immediately cost any extra money. But, yeah, let's talk about that for sure.
Right, and cause that's not something you wanna do like midstream.
An insurance buyout does make people look carefully at their partner's insurance too before just
Right.
jumping on this, so I think for most businesses it works out in their favor.
Right, it would, yeah, it kind of falls in with
Doesn't
annual
have to be a
enrollment.
huge amount, but yeah, yeah,
I'll add that to the calendar.
okay. Thanks.
Alright, so that, I think, takes care of the memo of proposals.
Yeah.
Yes, alright,
Sorry. I just making sure, cause I stepped out for a second. What was said about the like having one pool? We're not doing the one pool thing, right?
not quite yet, we talked
Oh,
about
okay.
potentially looking at it, but
That seems
it
even
would
more
probably be
complicated.
something that we would
Right.
wanna roll out at like the beginning of a new year.
I didn't
To see
know,
that though.
it's like the one pool seems way more complicated than, like, if you're gonna if you're gonna hold time, how do you hold time if it's all in one pool? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So like, how do you separate what time is what,
Right.
if you just separate them?
You don't, because it no
Right,
longer
right.
becomes a
It
It would be
separation.
a total
Yeah.
change, yeah.
It would
just
be, yeah.
It'd be what we have, just you keep more and
Whatever
then
you're
accrue all
doing.
at the beginning.
And I think that's where, from some of Bridget's examples that she brought forward, there are towns that allow up to 320 hours. That would be a paid time off example. So it's an accrual of a bunch of sick and vacation, personal, et cetera, because there's no real definition. Okay, we're gonna allot you X amount of days to roll, and that's it.
I was just curious, I know that seems even more complicated.
What's next?
I don't know, what's next?
Let's keep chopping at these.
Are we good with 11 paid holidays?
Looks pretty average to
It's the
everybody.
standard, we follow the state with the exception of we don't recognize Juneteenth, which I think is their
What's
12th
that?
holiday that they added into there.
No, this, I don't wanna add any extra holidays.
I'm sorry,
End of
well, so we
Labor-
have 11
We have
plus
11.
we grant the day after Thanksgiving, because it doesn't make sense
So
to bring
that's not
it.
even, that's an extra one?
That's part of our 12. I'm
So
sorry.
we have 12?
So we actually have 12?
We have 11.
We have,
It says 11.
so which holidays do we actually have?
Do you wanna start from the beginning?
Yes.
We have New Year's, President's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, or Civil Rights Day, however you wanna put that, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving, Christmas, what am I missing?
New Year, oh,
New Year's.
Seems like everyone gets Veterans Day
New
off
Year's.
except for the veterans. I'm working.
I get that
And
day.
Columbus Day.
At least I get that
and
day
those,
off.
how do we, those are automatically just paid days.
Yep, those are automatically paid days.
So that
Right.
doesn't include the vacation days.
No.
Correct.
Correct.
No.
Sounds
Those
like
are
I want
paid
more
holidays.
vacation time too. I want more
New Year's,
vacation
Martin
time
Luther
too.
King, President's Memorial, Independence Day.
Well, we're in agreement, just to make this faster. We're not going up or down with it.
Right,
We'll
we're
see
not
what it
gonna
is.
change them.
Okay.
I was just curious. We just wanted to complain.
Nobody was
About
complaining.
what we don't get.
My job.
We don't get.
I wasn't complaining about anything, I was just, I didn't say a thing. I was just sat here.
Do we wanna talk about?
I saw that look on your face.
Looking at you.
Like,
Hey, I got a lot of looks, and that was just, okay.
Alright, what's next?
Do we wanna talk about increasing accruals, or do we wanna hold that off for right now?
We don't need to increase accruals because we're doing upfront.
I know we're doing upfront, but we were talking about for longevity.
Like giving them more days after so many years.
I don't think we wanna do that if we're doing the New Hampshire retirement thing. You know, cause that's just gonna add more days.
What do you mean add more days though?
Yeah,
Just so I understand. I'm
More
sorry.
time off.
More time off, right?
Right,
15 years?
but not till after like 20 years. We only have like 1 or 2 people that have that.
Well, let's.
We can always
so-
reassess it.
Right, we can assess it later or whatever. I don't think we wanna assess that now.
But we have 2 people that are over 15 years at my agency, or at my department.
Mhm.
So we have Fawn and we have Sergeant, or Chief Woodman and we have Sergeant Eaton, who are both over the amount where they would accrue more time for longevity. And they don't.
And they matter.
And I'm just thinking in exchange, so the alternative was to talk about alternative pay, longevity pay, which we're not adding more money to incentivize them for their years of service. We're not in a position where we can do that for this year, so do you incentivize their,
I'm not actually so what are we looking at for a proposal?
the proposal that Bridget gave was to increase, I mean, their
Right.
accrual would be 2.25 per month, so that would be an extra,
That's right, I don't,
what was it, 4 days?
After 20 years?
So, yeah, no, it's like a quarter per 5 years, quarter day per 5 years. If I remember correctly.
we don't even have people taking their vacation time now.
You don't have to-
That's what I mean, what does it matter then?
Well,
No,
but it might
because-
encourage people
no.
to think about
No,
staying longer
I'm-
and retiring.
I don't think, I don't wanna give away too much right now, I don't think we can. You know, because that just adds more, we're gonna have to have coverage.
Now there's only 2 employees that have that time. And only one of them is non-salary.
It's also a huge incentive to stay here. Don't you wanna keep people here as long as possible?
Well,
When I
yeah,
first
but-
got here, it was a turnover town.
Mhm.
My employees, my assistant director turned over every single year for like 5 years.
We will be here after you all are probably done doing this job, like we are sitting here, we're invested.
Yeah.
How much are we talking about increasing, if we did, assuming hypothetically,
I've been sitting on a
Right.
board for 4 years.
I am proposing that for,
The contest.
I am proposing that employees that have 15
Why do we
years
pay
plus, we increase the vacation time to 5 weeks. They're capped out at 4 weeks, which is the same as a 10-year employee.
this is 21's 3 weeks, right? Yeah, 7, including weekends, my work
can
week,
do
7
that.
days.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, no,
that's
I'll say
over
this,
4
yeah.
weeks, 21 days, it's over 4 weeks,
1 day,
1 day.
1 day over 4 weeks. So round it off, give them an extra 4 days. Make it a solid 5.
After 20 years, what you
After
said?
15.
After 15?
15.
Squeaking pennies at this point.
Exactly.
It's not really,
There's
it's
literally-
actually, it is
there
not
is
squeaking
literally
pennies.
2 employees that have over that.
All right, well,
There's
maybe.
literally 2, and we can't take vacation anyways. We don't
Then-
have.
Then it doesn't matter.
You
It
want
doesn't
them to
matter.
stay.
Because if we leave,
This is
then you have to start from
discouraging.
scratch. If that's the process that the town of Nottingham wants.
Well, no,
and
no,
that's the
but I'm
process
just
the town of
just
Nottingham
going by,
Costs us a
just
fortune
using
to
your
do
own
that.
words.
Don't use
So
words
two
against
extra
people, that's
people,
not how it
two
works,
extra
my man.
people for
You know?
an extra week apiece is an extra 2,000 a year, probably. 2 to 3,000 a year extra. After 15 years for the entire town.
They get 11 holidays, a bunch of sick days.
Paid holidays?
I get,
I don't, cost me a lot of
I-
money
You know,
holidays.
I
this is
get-
this is
so-
the
so-
point, anyway.
There's pros and
We're not
cons to owning a
comparing
business,
margin.
man.
no, I mean, I'm just looking at the whole benefit package. You know, there's a lot of days here.
Yeah, but they're not paid a lot. A lot of-
We're trying to meet them in the middle. of-
Right, we're
Yeah,
trying to meet them in the
benefits.
middle. There's a lot of days here.
Yeah, but they
So
don't get
there's
paid
no-
much. So,
Paid fine.
you know, it's.
Why don't we make an incentive for in pay instead of in vacation time?
Pay would cost a lot more than just 15 years, you know, an extra week after 15 years.
People want quality of life too. I mean, I think that's something that's important. They need flexibility, they want quality of life, and they wanna be able to pay their bills. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Again, I was offering more money.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That gets taxed.
I wasn't going the other way. I was saying that, you know, if you stay here X long, I mean, again, we're not a teachers union by any means, but that is something that they do for people that have been in the school district. Since you worked for that district for so many years, they give you an incentive, they add a little to your pay as a thank you for being here. On top of the normal 3% cost of living interest, there
Get
was a,
steps. Yeah.
you know, another 2% or 1% that you got because you were here for so many years. You know,
as just a different way to
So
I'm
that,
throwing out an idea, doesn't
that
mean.
would be the longevity portion of this big long spreadsheet that I've given you.
Start doing pizza parties.
Bake sales.
You know, cause one thing about vacation time, you know, I appreciate it, and I don't think everything that should be valued. But when you take people out of if we give more time off, we're understaffing ourselves for those times.
Right, exactly, that was part of.
So instead of doing it that way, wouldn't it be incentive more to offer them more money?
After the,
I know, what are they asking for? They're here
Okay.
asking for something specific, right?
I hear you.
We're here to talk about our policies and how we change it.
Right.
We're here listening to the advice of the people that are here, that are presently working for the town.
Correct.
But the policies we change today are policies that could be impacted 5 years ago.
Mhm.
We're said employees that are in front of us today. I hope you're here, don't take this the wrong way, but they might not be.
Yeah.
Could move, they
Right.
could go to another town, I mean, they could move out of state, I mean, there's tons of different things that could
Go to Raymond.
again, that's not, again, I don't mean in that way, but I'm saying life changes for everybody. You know, we all,
Get poached
you
by
moved here a couple
the-
years ago from someplace else,
More than a couple.
you're right, but whatever, you know what I'm saying, but that, it happens, right? People move, people go
Of
on,
course,
different
of
careers might go
we'll
someplace,
have to
maybe a
hire
spouse
someone
career
for their
goes someplace
place.
else.
And if they leave, we'll have
That's
to
what I'm
hire
saying,
someone.
we're talking about policies for today, for what we're doing.
I'm aware.
And I understand that, the opinion they're giving us on what they're looking for changes is something but we should be focusing more on how the policy is gonna affect us in the long run, down the road.
Right.
And that's
Which
where
is
I'd say
exactly
that's-
what I'm doing. If
when we
they
hire
leave,
you-
we have to hire people.
Sure.
How do we attract
Well,
people
that's why we're
who are
talking about the
coming
things
and
now.
staying? That's why we're trying to make policies that will stop this constant turnover of staff.
But
But that,
I'm lost now. What are you two, going back?
What are we fighting about?
I'm lost.
the only way,
He was saying
turnover in
increased
staff
pay
is
to keep
always
them,
gonna
you were saying
change.
increased vacation is game. I understand by increased vacation, we lose staffing.
But that's only we lose just for that
You
week
just-
that
yeah,
they're not
you're
here,
just
or
trying to
something
find an
goes on. And again, it's not the big thing. I think it's more incentive, it's to, you know, it comes down to pay wise, I would, in my opinion. And again, we can look at this mathematically, which is, I mean, cause again, that's one way to
Mhm.
how we're gonna discuss this. And we're gonna look at it. Is it cost effective to give the extra week or to add those more days on it? Or is it, you know, just as cost effective to give them X amount of money more every year?
Pay raise.
Because of their longevity of being here, instead of increasing the amount of vacation time.
And
21 days
how do we
sitting right
determine
here.
that? Like over 20-year period of who stays? and
Well,
why?
again, it's just as many years you stay, you obviously start accruing more and more money on top of your normal annual
Yeah, but in the
raises.
meantime, we have to do policies now, right?
That's what we're talking about, pay and policies that we're changing.
Yes, John, I know.
I guess I'm not following where you're
I know,
going now
I
on
know,
this.
I know. I'm just saying, how do we know? I mean, you're talking from your perspective that money would mean more to you, maybe it would to me, maybe it would to some other people. But we're trying to look at trends and see what our competitors are offering as well.
Sorry to interrupt, what about a combination of both?
I'm sorry?
What about a combination of both? I'm not saying give us 75 weeks of vacation, but I think that a combination of both, we should reward longevity. Because in reality, no one stays at this current generation of law enforcement employees, citizens, don't stay places very long, so rewarding people for that, I think is super important. And you're right, taking more vacation does pull us off the road, does pull us off the line and stuff like that. And for obviously for some of us, it has different implications. But there should be an incentive for both. Like you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't not get longevity pay because you're getting more vacation days. A compromise of both, I think, is a good path. And that way they get an extra day, an extra 2 days, an extra 3 days. I say days, that's an ambiguous term because days are different for everybody. Insert hours there, and you get a longevity. You know, in reality, if we look at it, you know, a $1 pay raise is $2,080 per person. Because we work 2,080 hours in a year. So like, in the grand scheme, these are small numbers. Big numbers, I'm not saying they're not. These are, obviously, I am also a taxpayer in the town of Nottingham, I get that. But like, realistically, that's what we're talking about. And that,
And ultimately, we want to get the taxpayers the most bang for their buck. We all wanna
I-
save money.
We're
And
kind
my
of in the middle.
opinion is that by doing fair compensation that covers away, and it's complicated, right? It's not just money.
There's no
it's
right
not-
or wrong, you know?
No, we're not,
Sorry?
no, we're average on everything across the board.
That
Just
if
trying to
we
make ourselves a little
compromise
more
that there's
appealing.
quality of
Right.
life,
And
I think we've had a lot of discussions about that here in the past, as well as being able to pay your bills, coming up with that. The idea is ultimately to save taxpayers money, because we know how expensive it is to have turnover. We want seasoned people who are committed to staying here, who know the ropes, and I think happy employees are the employees who go the extra mile, who write the grants, who come in early, who stay late. That's my opinion.
We also, the more experience we can get people, officers, firefighters, ward workers, we incur less liability in the long run, which means we incur less, legal liability down the line because we have seasoned people being able to do those jobs. Obviously, we all mess up, we're people, we're not infallible. Or we're fallible, infallible? You know what I'm trying to say, we're not perfect. But, yeah.
But it is complicated, I mean,
Yeah, and genuinely, I don't mean to be like, I know I can sometimes come off confrontational. I appreciate what y'all are doing, and I just wanna say that even though you may have choice words and stuff like that, I appreciate that we're even able to.
Choice words.
I haven't said them yet. I appreciate that.
This is being.
I appreciate that we're able to have an open dialogue about it, and that we care enough about working for the town and trying to be loyal to the town of Nottingham, because we all do enjoy the community, we all do enjoy working for the town, because we do have an amazing community. Earlier today, I was hanging out at Liar's Paradise after a medical there, talking to a couple of my dare kids, and one of them comes walking up and his bike's broken. And I knew him, I was like, hey man, hey buddy, how we doing? He's like, oh, my bike broke, and we fixed his bike on the side of the road. If we don't build those community relations, we then just fall into the same hole, the same paths that we went down in the past 20 years. Obviously, I'm preaching to the choir at this point, but I just wanted to say, I do appreciate that we're doing this, and I appreciate that we can have the dialogue and still be friends at the end of the day.
it's important.
right,
But I think we've had a lot of areas that we agree on here with these.
So we're talking about policy, and that's what I'm asking is, do we incorporate something in here for longevity, whether it be
I wouldn't
additional
call
time
it-
incentive or pay? Or is it for consideration with the rest of the budgeted items to talk about in November?
I would rather push it off to like November, but
Is that the general consensus?
I feel like it's not a huge expense and that.
I hate pushing off shit.
We could.
Yeah, I wanna get it done.
well, show me the policy, let's see the actual words.
So, yes.
Government moves too slow for my liking.
What do you wanna consider
You know, this is
longevity?
not, John, don't
10
take
I
this,
don't wanna
years?
call
don't
it
take this
longevity.
incentive,
I
but
wanna see the.
it's a
the
board
actual-
decision.
No, I know.
If you're not ready to make it, and the four of us are, tough.
Well, you guys can't make a decision tonight anyway.
No, I get, but I'm saying though, just as you know,
Right, no, right, exactly, I would like
the
to.
majority of that rules here, so.
I would
Exactly,
like
am I
to
moving
see-
forward with drafting a
be
policy
cautious,
for your
yeah.
consideration for Monday night? Okay, so thought process behind that, if I could have some assistance with it, longevity, where do you wanna start it? Obviously, it's not a 2-year employee. Do we wanna start it as early as 5? Do you wanna start it at 10? Do you wanna
I'd say
start it
10
somewhere
10 would be
between?
the minimum, I would
Let's see.
say. 10 goes by pretty quick. I know 10 doesn't sound long, but
I wouldn't call it longevity,
time
I would
blank is 10
just
years.
add more vacation days based on this plan. Don't call it longevity, just say,
But that's what every other town calls it, so for
but it
consistency.
doesn't matter what the other town calls it.
Well,
I know.
It sounds better.
It does, because you're talking about somebody transitioning from one town to another, that's what they're gonna be looking for, they're not gonna be looking
Comparing.
for.
Okay, so then when they transition to
Better
this
lingo.
town, do they no longer have longevity because they haven't been here at all?
Right.
That's at the discretion, I mean, it depends on, obviously, if, yeah, exactly, it really depends on the position. If you're talking about a police officer that's already full-time certified and they've got 10, 15 years under their belt, they shouldn't start at square one. Like,
Why would
Right,
they?
I agree with that.
exactly.
It happens sometimes.
When does that happen?
It happens
It
sometimes.
happens.
Because
It
people
happens
don't-
and then, yeah.
Some, right.
Yeah.
And some people don't
But we don't want
negotiate.
it to, yeah.
Some, right, and some people don't negotiate it.
Right.
I do think we should incentivize the word
I-
longevity though.
I would recommend that we split that difference at least to go to like a value at the 15 years and then have the 5 weeks at 20 years.
And
Is anyone losing time in that?
No losing time, just, it would be adding, but it would be
At 20
step.
years?
Hmm?
You would add it at 20 years.
Well, no, you would add some of those days at 15 years and some of those days at 20 years to get to
For
the
the
full 5 weeks.
For the extra vacation time perspective.
Right.
Okay, so I will draft it up with both.
thanks.
What do you draft?
Not for nothing, but
Policy
how many
change.
people stay 20 years to get that
Longevity
incentive?
policy. To go
I know that
into
you
the
don't care,
person.
I'm just.
I don't know, no, it was, that was a, not an I don't care, it's like,
No, no,
I don't know.
No,
It's like-
but to put it in perspective.
Ask that question again.
Yeah, how do, like, what is the incentive to stay 20 years if you're just getting a couple extra days of vacation? Like, that's not a real incentive.
That's why I'm telling you, you should get paid more.
Yeah, no, I agree, I think in
But
conjunction with
It's talking
the
about across the
longevity
board.
and
21
the
days
impact
is taking a vacation every 3 months. Alright, cause I consider 5 days is your normal work week.
I think
Right,
that four is
right.
mine, but we work
But-
twice. But yes, 5 days is a normal work week in general.
Let's put this in the
40 hours.
world of
Yeah.
Right, and
40
actually,
hours.
we have to transition that to hours.
once every
Ellen.
3 months.
Ellen, you gotta make it in hours too.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
otherwise it's not gonna match the other policy that we,
No, we're not doing hours.
Doing
You mean
hours.
vacation time based on hours?
Well, we're doing half
No,
days.
hours, like, you get 96 hours, 40 hours, 80 hours of vacation time. So that way
Right.
it's equal for,
Call them days.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you call, but days for me are different from
Days
mine.
are
Right.
Yeah, I
different,
get
yeah,
that,
for-
cause the police
depending on-
fire department works
Right,
If
24
an
hours.
8-hour
shifts,
day
right?
or 24-hour day.
right, so it has to be in hours to be equitable across all
That makes
departments.
sense.
Cause if it was days and everyone worked eights, I'll just say eight's like a 5, you know,
Yeah.
5.
That's
eight,
part of-
5, whatever.
That's part of our current problem is it's
Yes.
in days instead of,
Does your salary pay you 40 hours a week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hourly.
Okay, your
but
hour
yes, But I work 40 hours a week minimum, and then on top of that,
is overtime.
yeah.
Okay. So that's why I don't think we should do hourly.
we have
How
to,
how many hours a week does the fire department guy work?
they work,
48.
You work 48.
right.
Well, it
And
can
they work-
vary depending
And
on
their
the
day,
cycles and
one
stuff.
day off is 24 hours.
Right.
So that's like 3 days off to take a day, to take a full day.
It still seems pretty, I mean, if you do it now, it's still pretty simple, especially if you front load it.
I think if
Right.
we're
Oh,
just,
yeah.
if we're just looking at the 8 and 10 hour shifts, those
Yeah.
are manageable, that's where we
Yeah.
have to.
We definitely simplified the crap out of it by doing what we're doing.
It's just the fire department's gonna have to have their own separate
Always will have
laws.
that. Yeah.
It should just be the same. We should
Should,
make
but-
it consistent. Don't have.
Well, if it's only the fire department, it doesn't care.
But if you're gonna say, if you're gonna turn it into days and say, okay, 21 days, then it's still,
21.
it's not going to be,
21 times 8,
We're overthinking this now.
because the
Yeah.
fire department works
Start getting
2
confused
days
and wanna go home.
per week,
So,
opposed to 5 days or 4 days.
so if we accrue 8 hours a month for 12 months, that's 96 hours. So if you use hours, depending on how many, well, it doesn't matter how long your shift is. It doesn't matter how long your shift is, if you take 24 hours and you have 96 hours front loaded, you take 24 hours off of that 96.
right,
Same thing I'm in the next bracket up, I'm in the 5 to 10. So I get 144 hours, 12 times 12, 144. So that's how many hours I get of vacation a year.
right.
If it
21 times 8 is 168.
If it makes sense to them and they're the ones monitoring it, managing it, then let them do it hourly or whatever way that makes, let them.
That way it's
doesn't cost us any more or
consistent
less than-
for
What they call
all
it, hours,
departments.
minutes, or they wanna monitor the seconds, doesn't change nothing.
Because right now with personal days, it's hours based. It says days, but it's hours based.
Yep.
So like if I take one shift, one day, it's actually a day and a quarter because mine's 10 hours as opposed to 8. So like now at the end of the year, I'm at like negative 0.75 hours for days but if it's hours,
Then it would be
It's the same
straightforward.
for
Ellen, what's easier for you as, you and the town people to manage, hours or
The
days?
hours and work off of it.
I unofficially vote to let her do the hours then if it's easier.
I will second that.
Alright,
Okay. So we derailed there. So I will draft up a longevity policy for consideration for incorporation into this personnel policy, because right now we don't have anything on longevity.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm definitely pouring a tall one after this.
Outside of that, I mean, I'm not gonna get into the weeds of the stuff that is Department of Labor updates, FMLA. We're not gonna get into any of that because that is just going to be Primex driven
It should be boilerplate.
boilerplate. I do wanna talk about, and Charlotte has brought it up in the past, the exception being we have guidance on maternity leave, we have nothing on a paternity leave. So maternity leave, the employee gets leave time under FMLA anyways. It does not define anything for the father.
Like the dad stays home?
Yeah.
Yes.
Most towns do. Oh,
I said the dad should be working overtime and getting
That
a
is
nanny,
working.
nanny and some help. That's just me, I might be old school.
Well, personally speaking, being right in the midst of my son's paternity leave right now
Yeah.
makes a huge difference, especially when you have the kind of job.
So
he's got.
it's the same scenario as the mother going out. I mean, the expectation, we have a short-term disability policy, it pays 67% for X number of 12,
Yeah,
60%
60%.
For 6 weeks.
for 6 weeks.
Unless you have a C-section, you get 8 weeks.
Right. So the employee is then left to supplement that extra time with sick time, vacation time, and then their guaranteed leave, but there is nothing for, we have nothing outlined for the father.
And coming from someone who had a C-section and could not move for a couple weeks, I do not know how I would have taken care of my baby if I did not have my fiance home with me, who did get 3 weeks fully paid off.
I think it's pretty well documented how important paternity leave is.
And it's a standard policy in most
Yeah,
updated
it's-
policies today.
right.
So I will get the language on that for consideration.
Second, that,
Yeah.
just to answer, sorry, we had an officer who had a baby, well, he didn't, but his wife did. And he was literally back the next day and had to take every
And
other
was
day.
thankful.
I'm sorry?
And was thankful.
Yeah, after no
Well,
sleep
no,
all night and then
people
right
aren't
back
thankful
to
for
work.
jobs anymore, you know, that comes the other direction now. You know, it doesn't go that way anymore. But we had to make accommodations on our side to try and accommodate his needs. And he's very fortunate that he had the church, that he had family, that he had people that were able to do that. But I've been in this job, like I said, for a little while now, and I've seen people have children that can't be at home with their kids when they need to be there, or they're fumbling between both of them, or they have to take all of their vacation time that they have just to be able to be home for a week, to be with their newborn, when, you know, in reality, if we're talking 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it doesn't happen every day.
I also
Right.
believe that Fawn had to come to work
That's right.
very quickly
Too
after
premature.
her 2 twins were at Dartmouth. Because she did not get any time off.
And who wants a police officer coming in to work after not sleeping all night with a newborn?
Great point.
Or a firefighter, or anybody for that matter. It's, yeah, I mean, I think it's,
Yeah, no, I think we need something that just, I'm not sure what the legality, legally, how all that works,
it's just
but
policy, right? Do you have any recommendations, Ellen, from looking at others? What kind of time?
I think it's gonna take some research to kind of,
It's probably gonna take some research, but I mean, I know that there are some that are probably more than we're even giving to our birthing mothers.
Why are we
well,
just,
I would,
Seriously,
I would
yeah.
say we don't exceed the birthing mother's policy.
Policy's not so great either, but
6 weeks.
I'd rather give the mother extra time and
Well,
tell the dad to work harder.
My husband gets 6 weeks off starting in June.
yeah, we can't exceed we obviously can't, I mean, we probably can, but
Well, how about we do this? Why don't we put it in our policy that they get 2 weeks? And just now, we actually added it in there, where if down the road it needs to be changed, we can change it, but at least we'll just stick it in there.
Why is the dad using his vacation time?
Why doesn't he?
Yeah, just use your vacation time to help
Well,
you.
what if
You've
he's
known
only-
for
what if
9+
he's only been
months.
here 3 years or 2 years?
He's getting, what's that, 12 days? What, I mean, whatever, I just,
no.
Okay, I'm throwing in the middle there to say the 2 weeks in there.
Because it's new. You know,
I
sometimes,
just think it's a little weird. I'd rather give the mom more time.
Now there's the discussion.
Coming from
But again,
someone
is it fair to say, to give one, not the other?
relationship with their
To
dad.
give the mom more time off that just had the child?
Well, I mean, don't you think the first 2 weeks would it be nice for the family to be together the whole time?
Yes.
I have 5 of them. It's not nice, the first 2 weeks is not nice. I serve my family better by working overtime during it.
We're talking about temperament.
I don't have any, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let's, I will
Way off
work
subject.
on drafting something with Primex and get that to you for Monday.
Yeah, but remember, all these changes are gonna be voted upon.
Yes. We are just discussing what's going to move forward and what isn't. Okay,
We are doing the insurance buyout?
no,
we push that off till we
Oh,
can.
yeah, I just wrote
that's
that
pushed
down,
off,
sorry.
it's pushed off for a budget consideration.
'cause
So
it
that
has
can
to
be,
done
that can
with-
be an amendment to the policy.
Yeah, it needs to be done with,
To discuss at budget time, I just wrote that down, sorry,
Yeah.
Jen.
We save money on it now.
What we're paying out for it.
Exactly.
I
But-
personally will be costing you a lot of money in September. More money.
I read a couple of studies that say it does encourage people to look more, rather than just go, oh, hell, I'll take it. To look at the possibility and that they could use their partners or spouses.
and that way it'll be with
insurance.
annual enrollment
Mhm.
and stuff like that, so.
Is that about insurance, I'm sorry?
The buyout stuff would be
If
be
you don't
tied
take
in
the
with like
insurance.
annual enrollment and that.
Oh,
That doesn't make sense to do mid-year.
yeah, no, I thought you were talking about the paternity leave stuff and maternity leave stuff.
No.
We moved on to
Sorry, I
That's
I
right.
apologize, I was listening.
health insurance, no, we're all
I
over
think I
the
ruined the
place.
paternity conversation.
Your wife, she's a saint.
Alright. So those are all I had for you outside of the. I was just making sure I don't think we have to update the nepotism policy. Performance appraisals needs to be adjusted to our current procedure, which is April annually, not based on anniversary dates.
That should be right, clear.
The cell phone policy was an addition. And they're very limited now, I believe it's just recreation and,
Can I read what the cell phone policy is? I don't even know what it is.
can you read it? Yeah.
I mean, I think it's almost to the point that it's stupid to even have one.
Right.
Cause if your boss is watching you sit on your cell phone for the majority of your day, then
Well, I don't
It's
think it
not
actually even says
work-related.
that.
It's more or less, it's
It's
for,
for-
yeah, it's for work
For the work
issue.
cell
Look at
phones.
that, look at, I wasn't finished with the, I was saying. Guys ready to jump down somebody's throat for just starting to.
Yeah, John.
Just go, keep going.
Then I should say, screw it, put them all in a box and say, forget it, can't use any of them. Go back to a landline.
Yeah, put them in a little sleeve at the beginning of the day.
Pertaining
Do
to
that.
town supplied cell
Cell
phones, there is a policy that is going to be incorporated into the new policy.
So the
Keep your own
policy is
turn.
for the people using town cell phones.
Yes.
Well, that's all the clarification that I need.
Okay,
No, there's a lot of employers have policies on use, you cannot use your cell phone on our shop floor. Cause people were abusing it and spending time watching videos when they should be working. That's where I thought the policy was gonna be.
so we do have that identified in here as like,
A safety issue,
Conduct
that could be
and
a safety.
That's what I thought the policy was, not regarding the
We
other
have one
things.
for our own staff.
Because obviously I never read the policy, that's why I was asking about it.
Guys are gonna get me real vocal
Is there
soon.
anything else we have?
no, I think that just about covers what we need to accomplish on what has been broken for years.
That's
We
actually,
took at least
that's something.
some shot at it.
Can
Chris?
I add something on the concern in the community?
Yeah.
No. We
I'm not
left
gonna
that
say
like-
anything this time, go
No,
ahead.
no, and I don't mean this in, like, obviously, I welcome that we have differing opinions, because that's literally what makes having government so awesome, is that we can have those different opinions. But I do know that we have lost people, at the police department because of that, and because they can go to other towns, get paid more, get more vacation, paternity and maternity leave at higher rates than we offer. And that's a huge incentive for people who do wanna start families, especially in some of the more higher risk jobs. And even down to just, and I say just, but even down to every job, you know, and incentivizing that is, I don't think it's a bad thing personally. I mean, you have 75 kids a year, we gotta have other questions, another problem, you know? But like, I think that it's a way to be inclusive of everybody, and even if it's some sort of policy that allows the father or the paternal side, paternal side to have some sort of time off that isn't their accrued time. I say accrued, but even if it's front loaded, I think is a way to support that person and support that employee. Because oftentimes in the private sector, a lot of places get that too. You know, and we get
Well,
very.
it's a big incentive, yeah.
We get, this is on TV, so I won't say that. We don't often get the good end of the stick on a lot of things, especially working for a town, you know, we're often paid less than the private sector. Private sector has its own challenges, but like those incentives are the things that the town can do that we are able to take advantage of sometimes, that make it enticing for people to wanna work in the community. You know, we have insurance, you know, that's a huge thing for a lot of things, but incorporating, you know, longevity pay like we talked about, paternity, maternity leave, that's common sense and makes sense for those families to be together, and showing that the town supports their employees, I think goes way further oftentimes than just throwing more money at them. Not saying that we don't want more money,
Agree.
I'm just saying that being cared about and knowing your value, oftentimes, at least from the leadership classes and FBI stuff that I've been to, that's oftentimes what people leave, is not being valued, and that fair and equitable stuff that makes sense, and inviting people and incentivizing people to stay. And when we can incentivize people to stay, we have people retiring. We have people actually going through the full process and staying loyal to a town, staying loyal to a municipal agency or department, and then that's how we make up those pennies on the other end. You know,
I agree.
it may cost more per year for that person, but like if you put my things that I do at the agency on there, just the things I do, grants, firearms, taser, UTV, drone unit, dog, dare, I can keep going. If you have to now pay for another person to do those things, I'm just being selfish in my corner here. But like, if you have to pay for another person to do that because it costs X amount of money, like that's reasonable. That seems like, to save a couple pennies now to lose many pennies later, that seems messed up, because we're not incentivizing a lot of those things. So I care about the town, I know we all do, we wouldn't be in this room right now if we didn't, but
I think we all know that we're lucky to have everybody who's here today. Thank you for coming and taking your time to stay after work.
I did like your proposal of looking into a step increase. I don't know if that's something that you guys can discuss later. I think that would make a big difference, and I know that we are here right now, but maybe talking to the other employees, not just the department heads, in whatever you're liaisoning for. I think it's important because sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that's blabbing, and I know that other people feel the same way. So I think it's good to talk about, and I'm not a department head, I've just been here for a while and I bought in. So I think it would be great to talk to other employees that work for the town and see what, they're struggling with or if they're good.
Yeah, we're asking for black and white rules so that we can follow them correctly and appropriately, and then we can look ahead and realize that, okay, when I look at my career and my life and my job and what I'm doing, that it's gonna make sense in 5 more years. We're just asking for a little bit more transparency, I think.
I think we hear you. I
Yeah,
think we
that's-
wanna help.
What do you mean
Right.
by transparency?
Not
Yeah,
said it.
no, it's confusing because
It
some
is
of
confusing.
You're saying that our
Our policy is
Our-
awful.
Yeah.
Policy is
We're
awful.
saying our
Yes.
policies are
We're
awful.
constantly,
It's
yes.
awful.
Our
and
policy
and
is
we're
awful.
Right, and
bending
we-
it and we're changing it, but I don't know who's it being bent for and what's
John,
changing.
there were years that I didn't even get a review. I went 3 years without a review when I first started here. And so every year,
you know where that guy is?
it doesn't matter.
Well, again, it comes from the top of
I
why
know
you didn't
that.
get it. It wasn't,
I know that.
it wasn't for the other people that was on there. And again,
It's always been a question.
Accountability though.
I've been here a very long time and it's always been a question, and so we're asking, the step increase, I can look ahead and know. Education matters. That's what I try to teach my people in my department, and then I show up and go, I got my master's, and everyone's like, cool. So like, those are things that like, it matters to us because we want to excel in what we do here. And we care about this place a lot.
And Courtney didn't even want a review for monetary reasons. She
I just
said
wanted
to the
feedback.
TA at the time, please just give me feedback. I want to make sure what I'm doing
Yeah.
correct. And it was like,
Yeah, no, actually, that's, right, that is a huge thing, because
It's
when you
huge.
hear nothing, you don't know.
our
Do I
department would
suck,
fall apart
or
if that
am
happened.
I kicking butt, you know?
We have 30 teenagers that work for us. If we didn't give them feedback, they would not excel, they would not be here.
We
It would
wouldn't
be
have
bad.
any retention.
None.
It would just keep, it would be awful. And it makes a huge difference, because we try to tell them what to expect. And that's all we're asking for.
And that goes
No, that-
further into John's point, or Selectman Moran's point earlier, got you. When you were talking about like what to look forward to, and a big portion of that is we know what to look forward to, if it's a 3-year step, 5-year step, 8-year step, whatever, whenever it gets updated, it gives that incentive to be like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because right now, like I said, I've been here 8 years. My first year here, I signed a blank contract that had a starting pay and no 1-year pay, and I was entitled to that 1-year pay.
I don't have a contract.
Well, that was a different, that was a contract because I had to stay 3 years contract, so that,
Yeah.
and it stated your starting pay, your
I got
first pay when you get out of the academy, and mine was blank. And then the increase I got was like 20 cents for being fully certified. So like, those are not incentives that the modern people, the people we have applying now will do, especially when they can go 8 minutes down the road, get $10 more an hour, have less responsibilities. And, obviously it's not all about money, but it's also about the town caring about them. So like, those are the things that like, I feel that they're talking about, and we have that transparency, accountability, all that fun stuff, and it's built into a solid policy. It provides guidance, like that's the biggest thing, that's why we have so many policies over the police department, because it provides a pathway for us to be able to be like, this is what you're supposed to do, you didn't do it, and this is what the responsibility, the brass, if you will, is supposed to do in response to something. So like when we had the year where no one got a raise. Like stuff like that, like I appreciate the raises I've gotten, I appreciate it, but we all work our butts off to make sure that the town is represented as positively as we can. And sometimes we can feel slighted when we know we have your backing, I'm not saying that, but like we can feel slighted when we don't have the incentives, or we don't have anything to look forward to, like you were saying. And like, I'm at the point now where the only thing I look forward to in terms of incentives is in 2 years I get more days off that I can't use, that I won't get paid out for, that I can only carry over 2 weeks, 80 hours.
And not be able to use it the next year.
and then not be able to use those either. You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I
Yeah,
want
but
to
see,
be-
those are small increment changes that can be made.
Yeah, and
That's
and
why
that's what
you're,
I'm saying.
that's why you're here to be talking about that, having that conversation with us right now,
Absolutely.
Yes.
to make these changes.
100%.
You know. Try not to say something that's gonna get myself in trouble.
Zip it.
Yeah,
No,
throw it out there, see what
No.
happens.
no. Discretion is the better part
How
of
close I
Alan,
can
John.
kick him.
I need something to wake me up.
Yeah, now I'm amped up, let's do it.
You know, I'm happy that we're having the discussion on this, cause it is something that's needed to be done. You know, I've never felt that this town, or the amount of time I've spent on here, we've ever, you know, took our employees for granted. All right, when something was asked of us, we've always responded. You know, in the best way that we could, that was feasible for the town and for you. All right, we've always done that. As far as, from my point of view, whether it was good enough, that's a different story. But we've always responded in a way that I thought was the best for the town and best for the employee to do. You know, so as we look at these changes here in front, are you gonna see everything you want? I'll be right up front, probably not. But are we gonna do the best that we can to add on and to make it? Yep. Do we wanna keep you here? Absolutely. If it's awful and terrible, you know, I mean, I respect every one of you for what you do for your job. I respect what you've done. I've seen the growth, I've seen the things, and I believe you should be rewarded. And I hope that over the years that we've paid increased to reward that. If it's not, that's another thing we have to look at. You know, but if anybody in this room right here feels like that we're not supportive of you, you know, I apologize for you to feel that way.
Thank you.
But I don't think, you know, that, you know, we've done anything maliciously to make this situation to what we're in right now. I mean, I'm happy that we're doing the
Saying
changes.
I'm gonna put my hand up first and just say, I think this is nothing personal. This is about updating our policies, which are behind the
Absolutely, yeah.
times. My observation is that I'm so grateful that Ellen has signed back on because she's been hitting us with policy updates like there's no tomorrow since you've gotten here whenever you can. Trying to
much
bring
work to
things
be
up to
done.
date, there's so much. And I hope that you'll trust us, and I think you can, that we're taking this seriously and that we're gonna move ahead on this and that Ellen is working actively on these policies.
Yeah, I hope you guys understand that we're trying to help you guys, but we also need
We're
to.
here.
Right, we're here.
This dialogue is happening,
Right.
something that has not happened before.
needed to.
That's a huge step.
We
Thank
do
you.
understand that.
And you can blame it on leadership.
No, it's just
You can blame me, I don't care.
I
time.
I don't care, you can blame me, that's fine.
No,
Means
there's
a
no one to
lot.
blame.
This is a weird dynamic, and I think I said this last time when we were here, but like our big bosses are forever changing, right? Like you guys get elected and I could do what you do, so I appreciate what you do, but it's constant turnover. I cannot tell you how much it means to me when Charlotte comes in and says, "How was your week this week? What challenges did you have?" Like she is invested and she comes in and I think she knows what we're doing. And she's not even our liaison. So like when someone comes down and asks us like, "How was your event?" or "Is summer camp going okay?" Like those things aren't money, and I know you guys are busy too, but like that means a lot to us that you're going the extra step to try to figure out what our job is. Cause I think on a surface level, you guys probably know what our job is, but like there's stuff that you probably don't know that each one of us does every single day. So those questions mean a lot too.
Cause you have the candy down there, that's why I come.
That's what we try to lure people into our office,
People
so
to
they
come
can
and
come
see
get
us.
candy.
So I got 3 quick things and I promise I'll stop talking. I'll start with the bad thing first. I think going to what Selectman Moran said earlier, when we first started this portion of it, was like, you know, I appreciate that, like, I don't think anything's ever been done maliciously. And I'll say that at least from the you know, near decade that I've been here. But I do think that there's been a culture prior to the people that are here about keep your head down, get back to work. And mind you, that comes obviously from different levels of brass, and I'm not talking about, you know, I'm talking when I first started and things have gotten better, but that's been the mentality. There's no one that we've been able to go to, and I'm not saying now, Ellen, I'm just saying in the past, that we've been able to go to air these things that can actually make an effective change. And now that we're able to have this dialogue and actually go through with some of the stuff and show you that we do have issues, that there is things, it may seem like a whirlwind coming at once because, you know, you have the loudest rooms in the, you know, the loudest voices in the room right now coming at you, and it is appreciated. But I do wanna say that when I started, the dynamic was shut your mouth and be grateful you have a job. And oftentimes that's the environment in small towns. Because we have that separation of the Board of Selectmen, of the town administrator, town managers, and then the rest of us. And then the people we can go to are few and far between, and that goes further into what to look forward to. And how do we incentivize staying like, oh, if I do another year, I'll get this. If I do another 2 years, I'll do this. And that leads into a lot of other things, including retention. And retention, I think, is one of the biggest things we spend the most money on. Some will argue salt or sand, but I'll argue retention and liability. But yeah, I had 2 others, I can't remember it, I'm done.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you for
I hope
doing
you'll
what you
trust
do.
us that we're getting the job done.
Alright. Are we good?
Shall I make a motion?
Well, I guess we don't actually need a motion, right?
No.
Oh, we don't, oh, that's
Are
right.
you just
We
gonna,
just-
are you ready
Just
to
run out
close
the
the
door?
work session? No further discussion?
If
Is there anything else we need to
we have
vote
no
on?
further discussion, I guess we can close our workshop, right? Alright, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah,
Right,
thank
and
you.
gavel closed.